I have two wonderful brain gentlemen from the continent, and I would want them to introduce themselves. Sam, and then we go to Sop.
Hi everybody, my name is Sam Kenstone. I am a PhD candidate at Faculty of Medicine, School of Population and Public Health, University of British Columbia. I am originally from Ghana, but I've been living in the diaspora for the past 15 years. So I hope to share some of those stories, experiences, and life trajectories with you. So it's a great pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sam, and welcome. Sop?
Thank you everyone for having me. My name is Christian Sopuruchi, also called Uncle Sop. I am a student of law at the University of British Columbia. I am studying for a PhD at the Allard Law School. I have lived on the continent all my life, but I sometimes travel, but I always head back. So I've not had an unbroken stay outside the continent for as long as I can remember. So that's basically it.
Thank you so much. And of course, my name is Kimani Wa Karangu, and I originate from the east of Africa, that is Kenya. And I'm almost completing my PhD, having stayed in Canada for the last 7 years. I don't know how I did it, but here we are. So thank you. Thank you so much. What you know about funding that is available for students joining Masters and PhD in Canada.
So in UBC, there is something called guaranteed minimum funding. Currently is $22,000. That's the minimum the university can give you when you are admitted. People like Soap said, Soap is smart. He did it fantastic. So when you are admitted, you are given that minimum. But based on your application and how you put yourself across, it's all about marketing yourself. Like he said, what is on your admission letter, they can change it and increase it. I mean, I'm not shy to say the same thing happened to me. They offered me, when I started my program 3 years ago. So they started, that time it was, I think, 18,000 when we started. But after I got my admission letter, they said, oh, based on your academic qualification and your experience, we are happy to offer you faculty funding of 15,000 for the first 2 years. So that comes in addition to my minimum funding. I'm like, hooray, who doesn't want this? So I know for my first 2 years, my 18,000 is secured, and then my 15,000 is secured. Now that I've finished my first 2 years, I TA now. First 2 years, I never bothered to TA because I know those are funded. Now I've TA'd, and priority is given to us over others. So I got TA jobs, which for my department, it comes on top of that. So those are the things you can do. How you package yourself at the beginning could even let them increase your minimum funding. And I know people get various amounts, 25K, 30K. Some people even get all scholarship. Vanier scholarship gives you 50K a year. Affiliated scholarships gives you 35K a year. So there are so many scholarships you can apply to in addition. And all those, nothing prevents you from applying to them. But you are sure of your guaranteed minimum funding, which is now 22,000. And if you package your application very well, they add some extra to it for you.
And you mentioned about TA. This is teaching assistant.
Teaching assistant.
It's a job you do to get more money.
Yes.
Must you be a teacher to do this?
No, unfortunately, I don't like talking about it. But as I said, I just wanted to move to Canada. I'm a doctor by training, and I got tired when I finished med school 11 years ago. And I worked for 8 years, and I'm like, there should be more. So, and Canada is one of the countries I wanted to move to, and coming here as a doctor is not easy. But relatively, coming here as a student, I could do masters, I could do PhD. I'm like, why don't you do PhD since it's the climate? So I applied for PhD, and it's easier to come here as a PhD student than to come here as a doctor. So for my friends out there who have professions, lawyers, doctors, engineers, and the rest, I know we feel so proud, we feel so arrogant, and in our role, I mean, those days it's just nice. Everybody come to the hospital. Oh, Dr. Kenstone. You feel so proud, self-esteem. Boy, there's nothing wrong. Come here for 2 years masters, even sometimes 1 year master. After you've done that, you can now trace your path to what your profession is and how you want to do that. I have my medical exam on June 23rd, 2023, that I haven't even started studying and preparing for. But I know that's my dream, so I've just finished my candidacy exam last week. Now I can take a deep breath and start studying for my exam. So that's how things work. You come here using education as a pathway. Then once you are here in Canada, you can go ahead and fulfill your dream in your profession or how you want things to be done for you. So that's what I'll say. So TA, I've never taught before. I'm a physician, but what does it change? You've taken all those courses and now it's your chance to just guide students, teach them, and make extra money. Why not? Go for it. So that's why I TA 3 courses now. So TA is teaching assistant.
Okay. Thank you so much. And you have articulated well the minimum funding, the affiliate, the SHAC. The SHAC is the equivalent of affiliate, and also the Vania one. And thank you so much for that elaboration, and also teasing and hinting to us about your dream. And we are wishing you all the best when it comes to your medical doctor exam in June 2023. Do we have any knowledge of any funding available for master's students? And what could be that, that process in any given time and opportunity?
Yes, in UBC and I believe in most schools in Canada, there are 2 kinds of masters. There is the research-based masters and the course-based masters. Actually, there are 3. And there is the professional path masters. Professional path are like 1 year, very expensive. Mostly it has no scholarship or very little bursary. The course-based masters have what we call merit-based scholarship. If you come here and you kill yourself, study, get 90 in your exams, you get merit-based scholarship. But for thesis-based masters, they have some RA-ship, research assistant funding for you. It's not the same as the PhD where there is a guaranteed minimum funding. But for master students in the thesis program, they receive some level of funding from their faculty, department, or supervisor, but it's not guaranteed. What the difference is for a PhD student, whether you are a research assistant or not, once you get your admission, you know some amount of money is guaranteed for you. That cannot be said of master's program. But if you are in a thesis-based master's, you receive some level of money, but it varies across board. I know my friends who receive 8,000, another person who receive 15,000, and as an executive of mine who received 22,000. I'm like, you are not even a PhD student, but you receive that much. So it really varies. It's based on your supervisor and your program.
Wow. That's amazing. And of course, for international students, there is whatever they call the International Tuition Award. Not so much.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, and of course the President Initiative something Excellence Award. So there are those available for masters and all that. Uncle Sop, any from your department, anything that come to mind?
Yeah, exactly what he said. There is a professional master's, a research master's, and a PhD. And what I would say to that is, it depends on what you want. Usually, if you want to just come here, do a quick course, professional programs are for people who are already in professions, right? They just want to quickly learn something about this particular program and then be gone. There are people who come for a research program, which they get some funding. But then I must add that it is not compulsory that your PhD must be funded.
Yeah.
Although because of the few PhD applicants they finally admit, they fund them. But I know PhD students that are not funded. I know master students that have received very little funding, and I know people that the funding they receive is still so low, they have to really work hard through other means to pay their tuition, the remaining part of the tuition, and do the rest of their research. So I don't think any of these processes is bad, because for me, I was already also ready to pay my school fees because it was not very expensive, right? But I was now surprised to find that I didn't have to pay anything, basically. So if you find anyone and it's something you can afford, then go for it.